Nope. Oh. I was just gonna take attendance. Just change. I have a bell ringer for you all. So take a look at this as you're coming in. Also, as a reminder, you should have turned your skin disease research in. That was due yesterday. I got a lot of them. I haven't taken a look to see who hasn't yet, but no, they were due yesterday, and I did not get those graded over the. I will work on those this week. I'm taking it because you guys are ready. Pizza? Yeah. Definitely not pizza.
Wait, what?
Take a look. What do you guys think? Try to also think about what we talked about yesterday. I'm going to be asking you guys some questions for review. What did we talk about yesterday?
You and her together? No, not yet.
Oh, Sheila?
Yeah. So if you're not busy next hour, maybe because he's in there next hour, maybe come down and I can definitely do chit chat with him. So,
Oh, shit.
yeah. Awesome. It's for this Schoology yet?
I need to go ask her if she could print them.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Don't you be hogging that fan to yourself. Hogging the fan, jeez. were up on the stage and I wanted that color. So now I'm gonna have 3. I already have purple ones
What do you
and
guys
a rust
think
colored
these
one,
are?
but I wanted that
Someone thought
color.
it was pizza when they initially walked in. Not pizza. Okay, we're saying bones, right? Because that's what we've been starting yesterday. Okay, so what do we think about the one on the left? Yes, I will. This is the structure that it looks like way up close. So we find bone marrow kind of in between those parts, but this is the calcified hard bone that is in like the center region of your bones. What about the middle one? Kind of sponge. Yes, this is just your standard kitchen sponge. I'd make sure not to put like a blue or pink one on there, it would have given it away. Yeah, yeah. It's an up close picture of a sponge. And then what about the one on the right? An ocean, yes, it is an ocean sponge. It kind of looks like a loofah, right? Looks like one. I've seen those at Target before. They kind of look like that. But this one's actually an ocean underwater sponge. So this would have been alive at one time. Sponges, they're like filter feeders. They just filter out the water that comes in and take different nutrients and microbes from that. So the whole reason that we call this spongy bone is because it resembles what a sponge looks like. It has those pores, it has those holy areas. So we're going to do a little bit of review because we didn't quite get to the end of the PowerPoint yesterday. So let's review what the 5 functions, or excuse me, the ones that we got through, the functions of bone. So I've got the first one up here, support, right? What was the next one we talked about? Protection. Third one, movement. Did we get to the fourth one? Kind of, we started, what was it? Mineral storage, exactly. So support, cradling those soft organs. Protection, kind of very similar, right? Protecting those vital organs, our brain, lungs, and heart. Talked about movement, right? With our appendicular bones. Those are your limbs, your legs, and your arms. We've also got, what was the other type of category of bone? Appendicular and, think of this, remember, the axial, right? Think about your y-axis. That includes your skull, your vertebral column, and also your rib cage. So movement when you breathe. Take a deep breath in. Your rib cage is expanding. So movement in that way as well. And this is the one we just touched on. So the fourth one, mineral storage. We always talk about, you gotta drink your milk, right? You gotta get that vitamin D, get that calcium. Phosphorus and calcium are the most important minerals. You'll see them up there on your periodic table. Most important ones that are stored in our bones. There are also others. Those aren't the only ones. But what your bones are doing, a lot of times they're storing these up in order for them to be deposited and withdrawn to your blood vessels to be circulated and moved throughout your body to where they're needed. We'll talk about the deposit and withdrawal process a little bit later when we talk about homeostasis within, bone growth and these deposits. They want to have that rate be about the same. Otherwise, you could get, bones that have, you've ever heard of people having like a bone spur, right? You've got that extra calcified part on the bone that's too much deposit, not necessarily with mineral storage, but with making that new bone. So this is our fourth one, mineral storage, extremely important. Causing that to our blood vessels to be moved throughout the rest of the body. And then we've got our last one, blood cell formation. I I mentioned yesterday how your bones are an organ, they are alive. Got those different tissues within them. In this case, they're making those blood cells in the bone marrow. We've got red and white blood cells. We've got red and yellow bone marrow. Those are going to be produced in these areas again to be deposited into our circulatory system as part of the blood. Got the red bone marrow making our red blood cells, yellow making the white. So like we saw in that first picture, that was bone marrow, and you guys are correct to some extent, right? The bone marrow would be found within that spongy part of your bone, at least the red bone marrow. So we have support, protection. Next one. Movement, mineral storage, and now blood cell formation. Those are the 5 functions of the bone. And when I was trying to come up with a silly acronym, I don't know why I came up with this one. Some people make more breakfast. Come up with something silly. That's just what I came up with for this. Kind of like our MLK from before. Talking about the integumentary system now. Just trying to remember these 5 functions. Just like we saw with last unit, right? We kept coming back to those 4 functions of the integumentary system. We're going to keep coming back and relating these different functions of the skeletal system when we start to talk about the different anatomy of the bones. What are they shaped like? Structure and function go hand in hand. So these are extremely important key points. Highlight them, make notes, circle them, make sure you know these 5. The next thing we're going to do before we take a few more notes, I put an activity on Schoology for you all, so hopefully the Wi-Fi stays with us. We were struggling last hour really bad. But pull up Schoology. There should be, I made a new folder for the skeletal system unit. It's a white folder. You should find compact and spongy bone activity or a worksheet in there. We're going to see what you guys can discover about these different types of bones before we get into some more notes. And you guys will be even more familiar when we do come back to get those definitions down. It's called compact and spongy bone. Be a Word document or a sort of. Yes, so you've got different internet links with that worksheet. As you go to those different links, you'll be able to define and learn about these different types of spongy bone, compact bone, what is inside them, what makes them up. So everyone will need to complete this and turn it in on their own, but feel free to, that's wrong. Look into the chicken leg leader. You say you? So once you have pulled up that document, you guys can go ahead and get started. I'll let you guys discuss and talk a little bit, but I'm going to make sure where you are staying on task. If you have questions, please grab me. But I wanted you guys to see what you could discover and figure out before we went to define these. So we're learning about some bone textures right now. Okay, it said that it couldn't send an email, so I'll look at it again. I just wanted to get that going.
Shaky. Don't get sick watching this, Abby. Oh.
I think that,
What's up?
What's up?
how about you guys can just find a picture on Google and put it in there? I know it says to draw your pictures of these different types of cells or, let's see, yeah. You can just go ahead and find a good picture on Google. And why don't you put that on there since we will be turning these in electronically anyway. So you can just copy and paste one in there for me. That'd be great. Let's figure this out.
I should give you a website to go to.
Yeah.
Use that website. It has everything on it that you need.
Yeah, just turn it a little bit. It was super, super muggy in here. Hopefully this rain will cool things down.
Oh my god. You're lucky you weren't down here when the lights went out.
Oh, really?
Way dark in here without windows.
Was it? It was dark in Top's room. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Top's room, it just like flickered. Like,
Oh yeah. It didn't last for too long, but if the lights are completely out, you can't see anything without windows.
that's nuts. This is the right address, right? What's that for?
It's for Mr. Bailey.
Oh, like for her personally? I feel like.
Oh, I see Mara's.
Bless you.
I see Naomi's. So on. See, this is what came up about the email before. So it says it's exceeds the maximum size allowed by. And that'll be fine.